two shoemakers that are really on my radar recently. I mentioned this earlier. They are both from Vietnam. So this is Ichigo Ichie, Lee Trung, as well as Fugashin, specifically Fugashin and a partnership that they have with a new brand out of Dallas, Texas, which is called Tread Heavily Shoes. For those of you that are watching the video version of this, I've got a pair of boots from Tread Heavily. This is my first pair of stitched down boots, and this is made in partnership between Tread Heavily and Fugashin. I've got an unboxing and kind of an initial like spotlight of the brand coming up soon. I had the chance to meet and talk with the owner and the founder of this brand via Zoom, a couple of times between when he had first reached out to me and when I received these. And, ultimately there's so many brands coming out like every other day. It seems like they all kind of do the same thing. After I talked to him, I could really tell that there was something else that was behind it. I could really get on board with the message, the vision of the brand, as well as that he was kind of bringing something different to the community or just to a market that doesn't exist already, which I really appreciate. So I was more than happy to kind of sign on board. I want to interrupt real quick. I was watching two videos today, or I was actually listening to them while I was doing yard work, which is usually when I kind of like catch up on some videos for the week. And both of these videos are something that I want to weigh in on. The first is from Ashwin or Welted Wear. It was his introduction to this new boot from Cru Nonpareil from Kenwin Small, and the amount of passion that he had about like every design element of the boot just like reinvigorated that fire in me, because you could really tell like this wasn't just like another boot for him. This was a boot that he truly cared about and truly appreciated like the end result of it, and it just meant a lot to him. And hearing that enjoyment, that excitement, and the passion meant a lot to me as well, and just highly suggest you checking it out. Even if that boot may not be your thing, I can assure you that you'll really enjoy listening to Ashwin tell you the story about why it is he picked every detail that he did. The other video is from Stridewise about the Indy boot. Yep, this topic has kind of like researched itself again. So I'm not going to kind of belabor the point or kind of beat a dead horse here. But ultimately, this was like a very favorable video to Alden, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with Alden. I actually got a pair of Alden boots recently and absolutely love them. Well, it's not recently anymore. It was like about like 7 months ago, but I love them. They are what they are. That was kind of his point, but his point was even more so that like some of the other elements of Alden boots like outweigh the fiberboard, the leather board, and like all that kind of stuff is actually a positive. The point is, it's not that like they're bad, like they're not, they're good boots. The point is that the perception that many in the community or many new folks in the community, the perception is that when you buy a pair of Alden boots, you're getting like handmade boots, which obviously we all know is not the case. But the other perception is like that, it's like the cream of the crop when it comes to quality, the materials. It's Horween shell cordovan, it's Horween leather, it's all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, you guys got to realize like it's not. It is Horween leather, but they're not using the best possible components, the best possible quality control, the best possible execution. Like all those things are not what Alden is delivering. Alden's delivering a symbol for a very well-made boot, and it is, but the components are not all they're made up to be. So it just, I'll kind of leave it there, but it's not so much that like the flack that Alden gets is because of what they do or who they are. It's more so just kind of giving everybody in the community like a reality check about the fact that like, you're paying for intangible details here. You're not paying for the all the costs that add up, the same that you would if you're paying for like real leather in other boots when they're using real leather heel stacks, full leather insoles, things like that. Here you're paying for the intangibles of the heritage, the Indy, kind of like true Indy call sign, all that kind of stuff. So it's just like, you have to realize that like part of what you're getting are the status symbols, the intangibles, the things that other boot makers cannot deliver. So if this is exactly what you want and it's an Indy, then the only place you can get it is from Alden, and maybe then it's worth the price. If you're trying to find the best possible boot and you want an apron style, like workwear-ish boot, you know, Alden Indy probably isn't the best quality, the best execution option out there. There are probably better ones that may come in at a lower price. Just understand what it is that you're looking for, understand what aspects are important, and make sure that you're getting the most value for your money based on what it is that you value.